Hey everybody, welcome back to Extra Credit. It's week 4 and we've gone on a bit of a field trip, okay? We are in Ohio, my hometown, and we've been visiting for the holidays, so we are streaming live from the Columbus, Ohio. And we have a special guest today, which we'll get into. Why are you laughing?
I was coughing.
We have a special guest tonight, which we will reveal shortly. But we want to get a little bit into we want to see what happened last week. So, do we have that video queued up? Okay. No. The answer was no. As you guys can see, when we're on the road, anything can happen. So we're starting a little bit delayed, but thank y'all for sticking with us. Okay. Every time
we're getting to the age, so we need to start establishing our church shout.
I have mine down pat. I spin a little bit.
I haven't seen it. One where you just catch it. You know,
that's not a shout though. That's a quickening.
Females want men who have something about them.
So a cortisone does that.
No, it gives you the appearance that you are about something.
Not the cortisone I just saw in the videos.
Maybe not.
They look nuts. I used to be very annoyed with security people when they just are really extra, but I stopped feeling that way because, like I said, I'd rather you be doing the most
than not doing
anything. And if someone feels some type of way about it, then
feel some type of way.
Whoop-de-doo. When you do start proclaiming the truth about what God is doing, there are other fellow Christians who start feeling uncomfortable. My question is, why are you so uncomfortable with the truth?
A light shining is not going to be something that someone else doesn't notice. So a lot of times Christians, they want to be modest, but you're not shining. You're barely flickering over there. Shine. Wait a minute.
I'm cracking up. Last week was a time. It was sorry y'all. We are, like I said, working with a different setup. But we're making it happen. So we're gonna get into a little bit of a roll call, okay, if you will. What I want y'all to do, you guys should already know the drill by now. It's week 4. If you guys are here, I want you guys to make sure that you are liking the video on YouTube. And once you've done that, I want you to put a turkey in the chat because we just had Thanksgiving. So let us know you're here by putting a turkey in the chat. And we're going to start calling y'all off.
Is there a pie emoji?
Can we do pie emojis? Okay, fine. Turkey or pie? Okay. Entree or dessert? You pick. For my big back husband. Okay. What is that? What in the
It's a
world?
turkey. Turkeys and pies.
It's a clocket. I saw the clockets on the come on here.
All right, we got Eli, we got Joy, we got both Joys, we got Tried and True, we got Kristen Burrows, we got Nene, Kashayla, we got Yanni, we got Brittany, we got Tia, we got Kayla, we got Miss Caitlin Sanders, we got Ebbs, we got Layla Powell, we got Trilla Shawty, aka Jarrell, we got Kingdom Style Corner, we got Christian Brown, we got Jaquista, and we got one student who's deciding to go against the grain. And instead of putting a turkey or a pie in the chat, he put yerp. So, shout out to everybody. Y'all write in the chat. I mean, how are y'all? How was Thanksgiving? How was the weekend? What the meals good? What's up, Keisha? Were the meals good? Were the meals okay? Did you cook? Did you not cook? How was everything? Go ahead and drop it in the chat so we can see how y'all's Thanksgivings were. Yeah, get yourself straight, Jeremiah. We asked for turkeys and pies. So y'all saying yummers. Someone made cabbage. I think cabbage probably is the best Thanksgiving side. Let me see. I really enjoyed being a big back. I feel you. I feel you on that. Let me see. We host every year. I don't know what the upside down smiley face means. I mean, it's kind of a good thing, but it's like, it was delicious. We made apple pie for the first time. Cool. I mean, we are came up to Ohio and we enjoyed, some time with family and everything. And I helped make lamb steaks. So that was cool. We got Jeremiah said he hosted at the crib for the first time. That's always big, especially for us millennials or younger people. We're losing recipes. We're forgetting how to host people and stuff. So it's good for us to kind of take over that role from time to time. Juice and games. In the chat real quick, I want y'all to put what's the best family game for Thanksgiving? What's the best family game that's out there for Thanksgiving? I know some people run spades. Me and my kids play Uno together. Someone said Uno. Man, a lot of y'all play Uno. All right, someone said Uno No Mercy, and I gotta say that after having to do a draw, look, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our guest because Beth stepped off a set. Y'all give it up for the one and only Dr. Forbes. Dr. Forbes is here. He might have a little bit of feedback, but let me tell y'all about Uno No Mercy real quick. I see y'all saying Taboo. Taboo is a really good one, but Uno No Mercy is completely trash. Yesterday, my son had me caught up with the draw 36. Then after I drew 36, of course, I ended up with all the power-ups. And so he then had to draw like 82 by me stacking everything. So Uno No Mercy is cooked. It's a complete joke of a game. And there's no finishing the game. And I had to explain to my son that I was going to quit because, draw 82 is nasty work. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dr. Forbes, what do you feel like is what do you think about Uno No Mercy? Because I'm sure the kids probably made you play.
Yeah, they made me play, and I'm very disappointed that as a grandfather, I let them talk me into it. I want that game out of my house. I want it out of my dwelling place. I don't want to see it again. No one can ever win that game. It's impossible to win that game.
It's impossible. Yeah, especially like once someone starts drawing a certain amount of cards, it's like, all right, now you got the whole deck. And then my daughter felt like it would be a good idea to mix regular Uno with Uno No Mercy because she thought the No Mercy stuff was so funny. But I'm just like, I like to win. It's just it's such a waste of time. So, but what do you feel like other than Uno is a good family Thanksgiving game?
We will play Monopoly. We love playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
But it teaches some principles of finances, so we like it for that reason. And then, of course, we like to jam people up with the rents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we enjoy that, Monopoly. And then we just play some other just homemade games, stuff we make up just in our house. Like the word game we played today, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So let's do this. We can try to attempt to play the word game with the chat. All right. Okay. So I'll read out different things that they say. So basically, I mean, you explain how the word game works.
All right. The word game works in this manner. I'll name a famous star or famous personality, and then you'll take the initial of the first initial of the last name, and then you've got to name someone. If I said Jennifer Aniston, then you've got to say someone that begins with A. Okay. Because her last name begins with A. And then after that, then the next person would have to pick the last name, initial letter, and then follow up that way.
And go on. Okay.
Yeah, the funny thing is, though, we always end up with Sinbad. Like, no matter how many times we've done it, somehow somebody gets S, and then it ends up with Sinbad. We fall out laughing.
Yeah. So let's go. You, Beth. You go. Dr. Forbes. Beth will go. It'll go me, and then we'll go to the chat and see what name the chat comes up with. So let's do a couple rounds of that. All right. Let's start with Dr. Forbes.
I'm going to give you quarterback of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott.
Okay. Priscilla Shirer. So churchy.
Are y'all ready? Seth Rogen.
Okay.
All right, it's the chat's turn.
Starting with our chat. Don't be slow. Not all at once now. Raise your hand. Let's see. Elvis Presley. I don't think that was right. It has to start with P, right?
I said Seth
It
Rogen.
has to start with the R. Okay, so Ryan Seacrest. That's the first one.
Okay, who we got? Who else we got? All right, we got Richard Pryor.
You can only take one.
Ronald. I mean, which one do we want to take?
The first one.
I want to read some of them out so Dr. Forbes can hear.
Okay, Richard
Sounds like a
Pryor,
very
Ronald
astute
Reagan,
class.
Rocky Balboa. He's a fictitious character though.
But that would pass.
Okay,
That would
fine.
pass.
Okay, fine. It would pass according to Dr. Forbes. Dr. Forbes has the last word. Ronald McDonald. That is funny.
That's pushing it.
All right, so we're going with Ryan Seacrest.
Does I have an S?
Yeah.
Sinbad.
It's always gonna be Sinbad.
Always shows up. Okay. S. Oh my gosh. Stephanie Mills,
Okay.
singer.
Miley Cyrus. Daniel, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with y'all.
Okay.
Hold on, my video just went out, but I can still. Hold on, let me see. You said Ryan Seacrest?
I said Miley Cyrus.
Oh, Miley Cyrus.
That's a hard one, see? See.
Kris Jenner.
Her name starts with a K.
Christopher Columbus.
And we landed on another C chat. C names, help us out. While Daniel uncooks his camera. CC Wyman, period.
That's in there.
CC
Yeah,
Winans.
Chris Rock.
Rock.
Y'all are good at this.
All right, I like CC Winans, so Dr. Forbes has a W.
Okay, W. That's going to take me to Will I Am.
Will I Am. So I do the A.
Or the I.
Oh, I'm changing.
Okay.
Whitney Houston.
Okay, Whitney Houston. Okay, H. Haley Bieber. Daniel.
Bro, my camera's so
switching,
cooked.
You're switching to nothing.
I know.
Babes, I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'm back. All right.
Oh, there you
Barack Obama.
Oh,
are. Okay.
okay.
All right.
No, it's the
Chat.
chat's turn. Chat turn. Let me try to uncut this camera a while.
Oh, Oprah. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Anybody else for O? Otis Redding.
Mm.
Another Oprah. I say we go with Omar Epps.
Mm.
Is that must be somebody who plays sports?
He's
Oh,
an actor.
Marion. Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's an actor. Good actor.
Old McDonald. Old. It's not. Old. Is it old
no.
McDonald who had a farm?
It's not old.
It's old.
Oh,
Like
O-H.
Ole Miss.
I'm cracking up. Hilarious, hysterical. Okay, let's go with Otis Redding.
All right, last round.
Richard Pryor.
Okay. Penelope Cruz.
Chris Rock.
Chat R. This is the last of the Mohicans. Give us a R.
Chris Rock.
These McDonald's are sending me. And me too. Literally.
This will be the last one, so y'all ended off good.
Rocky.
Chris Rock.
Rocky.
Rip Hamilton.
Y'all's an
Reese
audience.
Witherspoon. Rick Ross.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson. Period. Come on, Twilight fam. Christian Ronaldo. The Rock. Ronald Reagan. Again. Who keeps putting Ronald Reagan? Ariana?
Probably.
That's my sister, for those of you guys who don't know. Robert De Niro. Okay. I feel like we ended that off strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, chat. So that's a little piece of Forbes tradition and fun and things that we do as a family. So what we got coming up next?
Well, we got a couple videos, and then we're going to get into our main topic of the night, which is going to be going into why Christian dating is so cooked.
We're going to talk about it.
So, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So if you're, I feel like if you're married or single or whatever, I think it should be a pretty good conversation, because we'll definitely need some feedback from those who are married.
And from those who are single.
Yeah, to get feedback about everything. But we want to help some of our, single people, but especially, well, in my opinion, the ladies.
Whoa. The guys need help too.
I think y'all might need the most help though. Not you specifically, but
I know, but I'm just saying, like, no. Equal parts help, but I understand what you're saying.
All right. Well, I have a couple videos to get us warmed up, so
let's get warmed up. A little reactionary.
Yeah. So we'll let me see. Let me pull up some. Trying to see these different ones that you sent me. You sent me this guy with all these tattoos. Play him last, maybe.
I don't know. We just have to go with the flow. Those are the vibes we're on tonight.
All right.
Are you playing? Wait, are you playing funny stuff first though?
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't the funny ones.
Huh?
Those aren't the funny ones.
No, I'm asking because I just see the.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, I know this one. I've seen this one.
Okay.
But we'll have a chance to react to it.
Oh, hold on. Oh Lord.
We can't do them both, but we'll get back around.
I just want you to know.
That's going to make YouTube.
Wait a minute, because I had not seen all of those. I didn't know that was a compilation. I was starting off with the guy getting baptized, and it just took a left turn from there. A lot.
You gotta mute your computer.
A lot of wigs were lost. That's all I have to say. Someone said that's a concussion. Nah, literally.
That was.
Literally. I can't imagine going to get baptized and just getting totally cooked like that.
No.
You're supposed to be like in the spirit.
Right.
And you just.
Solemn moment, serious moment.
Right.
It becomes a silly moment.
Exactly. You just get cooked. Okay. Play the next
Do you
one.
feel like you have to be rebaptized if something like that goes down?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, one time I baptized someone, and they literally fought going down, and so when they came back up, their face was dry. He said, "I got to take you down again. You got to go down again. This is not qualified. It's not certified."
Just fighting it the whole way.
Someone in the chat said double dip.
Yeah, double dip.
That is hilarious. I'm cracking up. Okay. What we got next, babe?
All right, I got another one. Let me see.
What happened here? Who spilled all this flour?
That's just hilarious, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when y'all told me the story of how Rayma covered me in like baby powder or
Absolutely.
something. And did it look like that?
Yes.
It looked just like that.
You look like a ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Honestly, is the dog a paid actor? Because you need to give him a raise. Because that was pretty
That was
impressive. Okay.
Golden retrievers are the best. Which relationship one do you want me to play first? 'Cause I only have the thumbnails. So the guy or the girl?
Maybe play the girl. I can't
Okay.
really remember. We're just flowing.
Okay. All right.
Nobody
so
sneeze.
make sure your volume is up.
Ariana said it's AI. You can barely tell anymore.
All right. Well, we're cooked because we're
Now reacting
the people
to
that
false
don't know
reality.
how to.
Is it really though?
I think the videos are better though when I pick them.
You make me pick them, and I pick good ones all the time.
I'm
You just take the credit. Don't do that.
Just messing.
Okay.
I'm just messing. All right. So I guess this is kind of where we kind of get kicked off
Right.
into everything. So make sure your volume is up so Dr. Forbes can see. And
Okay, hold on.
See what we got going.
I'm gonna
on.
mute.
The new believer, you ultimately want him to have someone else mentoring him and leading him, another godly man. That is not your sole purpose, because as women, we're fixers, we're helpers. We're like, I can get him there, I can do it. I implore you and I encourage you, but that is not your sole responsibility. You can help him, but ultimately he's got to figure it out. He's got to be your ungodly man. He's got to explore this and believe it and know it to be true, still apart from you. Because if you break up, would he still be seeking the Lord? Would he still be chasing God apart from you? Because again, same thing what we said in the beginning, you can agree with whatever you want to agree with just to get the girl, get to the bed, get to the, the wedding day, but you got to know, what would you do apart from me? Who are you apart from me?
What do y'all think about what she was saying? She's basically saying if you're dating like a new believer, a new Christian, or someone who's not like as far along the faith.
Well, I'm gonna start off with the hot takes. I think I think Christian dating is really cooked. I think that most of the time, what I see is the lady or the young lady is already in church. There's a young man who's out there who's not opposed to church, maybe was raised in church, meets the young lady, and then now it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm gonna start going to church because I guess me pursuing you requires that. But then it leaves you in a position to where now you have to wonder, like, if I wasn't in the picture, would you be seeking God? Or sometimes it's like, okay, well, maybe is God trying to get you to him and using this relationship to do so? So I think it leaves young ladies, which is why I'm saying that they're just so cooked. In a really weird position, because now you've already been in a place of discipleship, and now you have a person who's coming into that, and I think that it's very hard to move towards marriage in that type of situation anytime quickly. So that's just kind of what I see most of the time, but I just want to open this up because I know there's a lot of feelings on this, but I'm gonna kind of be more on the Christian dating is cooked.
It sounds so negative, but he just means that it poses an interesting conversation because it can be difficult to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like shed a glimmer of hope for people instead of just saying, oh, it's cooked, it's done. But what do you think about this?
Dating among the Christian community is flambéed. It's not cooked. It's flambéed.
It's on an open
open
flame.
grill, on a split barrel briquettes and everything. I'm going to co-sign and endorse where my son-in-law is coming from, because as a pastor, as a father first and then a pastor, I've been able to see what it costs to get godly relationship out of balance, where really men should be pursuing the woman, but we see so often it's the other way around. And then both seem to be, male and female, seem to be unaware of what the godly roles are.
Right.
And so then that can be a problem.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge for men is, do we see women as meaningful pursuits or disposable pleasures? And that's the difference between a worldly view and a word view.
Right,
Because
right.
a man that's in the word is going to see a woman as a meaningful pursuit.
Right,
Like,
right.
man, I can lose this. Like,
Right.
God talked to me about this.
Yeah.
I can't afford to lose this. I got to do whatever I can
Yeah.
to not lose this opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's women who always feel that way.
Yeah.
I've got to do whatever I can do to not lose him. So the balance is off.
Yeah.
Women very often like, I need help. I need help financially. I need help with these children. Scripture says a woman doesn't need help. She is the help. So see, we're out of balance.
Yeah.
And then therefore, that's what makes it be cooked, flambéed, barbecued.
Yeah.
Some say rotisserie.
Skewered, rotisserie.
Okay, let me say this, because say like Daniel was saying, someone was raised in church, okay, but they have kind of stepped away. They've been living kind of whatever. They meet a woman, she's in church, and that kind of brings the man back into the fold. This is a scenario
Hold up. Back into the fold or into the fold for like the first time? Because I like which scenario do you want to go with? Like,
Yeah.
because I think that someone who backslid can return much quicker because you have the knowledge base. You just turned away from God, and turning back to God, you're not necessarily starting at
ground zero. Right. Well, that was going kind of based off what you were saying, but I do think that is a nuance that has to be considered. I think that, say, I'm almost thinking of somebody who like went to church with their grandma. Maybe it was a Baptist church. Maybe they went to Sunday school, but they weren't plugged into where they really have that strong foundation. I think that it's okay for them to come back into the realm of the things of God because of the relationship, but they cannot stay there because of the relationship.
Right.
And so I think that what she was saying in the video is that they need to have a mentor or someone else guiding them through. It can't be her.
Right.
Because then now they're relying on you for their relationship with God,
Right.
and they become dependent.
Right.
But this makes me think of another clip I saw. I don't think that I pulled it for us to watch today, but a guy was saying that Christian men are feminine in quality.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
I know, this is a whole.
And Chad, I'm gonna get to some of these comments and questions in just a second.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
He was
crazy.
he was basically saying that because of the good boy, the good guy kind of persona, they tend to be like more meek and like softer and like, oh, they're so respectful and they're just such a good guy and this and that, but they lack the masculinity to truly lead and pursue, like you were saying, to pursue and to take on that persona of a man who's seeking a wife, who's finding a wife, who's approaching somebody, who's courting them, who's seeing them as valuable, who's treating them right, versus someone who's a nice guy. But, you know, sometimes too, even when you think about the seeker-sensitive church movement, it kind of is like, it's light and it's soft and it's fluffy and it's, you know what I mean? And sometimes that can create men who are that way. So the guy was saying in the video, when you think of the pastor from the Deuteronomy church, is it, you know what I'm talking about? The one with the numbers? I should know this. The church with the guy who's a real gruff voice.
2819.
Yes. So his church, they're saying he's so like he's like very masculine, very like almost aggressive in nature. But they were saying the men at that church will probably take on more of that from their pastor than being like soft. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a whole thing because I mean we talked with another pastor in Florida about this, and I think there are certain movements where you kind of see a little bit more of that be quote unquote allowed or in the forefront, but I don't. We can get to that in a second because I think that's the whole thing. But
for sure,
there's some good points and some questions that we have here. So. The first one, it was a little bit up, but someone said that discernment, it shouldn't be cooked because we should have discernment. And that opens us up into Dr. Forbes. I know we've had conversations and we call it, your picker.
Right.
Some of these young men, some of these young ladies, their picker is broken because they're picking
the wrong ones.
And so I think that goes into the discernment conversation, which we can go there. I also see one where, and I know a couple of married couples that are like this, to where the husband wasn't as far spiritually as the young lady, but it still worked out because I guess through the sermon or whatever, the person ended up being a good mate that was able to grow in the things of God and end up being able to lead his household. But they didn't start like that. And so, I know a couple of couples that we know where that was the case, where the woman was really in church, the guy kind of came along, and then took on the things of God as well, and things worked out. I feel like that's
the exception and not the rule, or
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I would just say that you just really got to know who you're getting involved with. You know what I mean? I've seen so much in terms of like people faking and being certain ways and it not being real. And so I think you want to go against that. Then we also have let me see. Someone also asked, "What's up, Legacy Jones? Welcome back to the States." I know he's been in Africa for a minute. And then one person is saying, he was saying, why do you need a romantic partner to return to God? And then the relationship shouldn't be what anchors them to their salvation.
Right.
And then many nice guys grew up in cultures that didn't want them to be honest and honor their God-given agency, but just wanted them to be useful, so they just carry that into dating. And then Jory's saying, don't be so quick to jump into dating. So let's rewind. I wanted to acknowledge, the conversations that are happening in the chat. And please, if you have opinions or experiences, feel free tonight to drop those, because we really ultimately want to help people out. I feel for a lot of, I feel for the guys, but I feel like it's so much easier for us. Like, I feel like there's so many nice young ladies out here. I feel like a guy has the pick of the litter, and I feel like for ladies, this is just my opinion, I feel like for ladies it's a lot tougher. That's just kind of where I'm at, but we can rewind to the picker conversation. Why is it that young ladies, and maybe some men, young men too, have such a hard time picking the right person? I feel like you can date, but when you pick to pursue like a strong relationship with the person, sometimes it's off. And I kind of want to know, why is that? What should be some of the guidelines and things like that?
I think several reasons. Number one, very few people grew up in a home that has a biblical model that is not just modeled in precept, but also line by line. You know what I'm saying? Like parents who are saying, this is what we're doing, this is why we treat each other this way. Very few people grew up in a home with two parents able to see that, not just see it, but then have it explained to them. Number two, I believe if we're getting into relationship, and your husband mentioned that, Daniel, you mentioned that a moment ago, who are we getting involved with? You know what's more important? Why are we trying to get involved? Because when a woman understands her gift is, if the man of God has a purpose, I'm the one.
Right.
I got gifts
Right.
that can enhance this.
Right.
Right? If he knows I've got a purpose and I need some help, then that is going to define and refine that process of your picker.
Yeah.
For the man who to pursue, for the woman who to allow to pursue you.
Right.
And last thing I'll say is, if you go back to Genesis, you've got Adam, God speaking to Adam specifically. This is your purpose. This is your role. This is your duty. These are your guidelines. Here are your guardrails. And then, having given him that structure, then he brings him
That's so good.
a wife. He was already in the garden.
Come on.
The garden was already established, and he was there.
Right.
Naming the animals,
Right.
taking charge, walking in his authority. And then God said, you need help. You're doing so much, you need help.
This is so good.
You see what I'm saying?
This is so good, because I was just talking to somebody about this. Like, if he does not already have, if he's not aligned in his purpose, you have quite a journey ahead of you,
Because if he can't follow God to even lead himself into purpose, how is he then going to lead you and your family into purpose? Like,
I think that's even with even if you take God out of it.
yeah.
I think if you take God out of it and even say, I think even if you take God out of it and say, even if it was a non-Christian couple,
Sure.
Why, as men, being with someone who's not moving in purpose or
Right.
have purpose, I think that's
It's difficult.
it's really difficult
Yes.
because it's like, you're talking about someone who still needs to lead a family.
Right.
I just feel like, that's big. And then you add, the things of God on top of that, because we know that through our relationship with God, that produces our purpose, because now you're in a relationship with the Creator. You can,
Right.
you can move in true purpose.
Right.
But at least, just the amount of young men who are just about something, who have, even if they're selfish ambitions,
Right.
before meeting Christ or whatnot, I still feel like that's something that's really big as well.
I agree. It has to be there, even as you said, even if it's self-guided. But God can work with that, if that person comes along. But if the core of the gentleman is to just kind of sit back, that kind of fights
It's cooked.
the actual panache of what a man
Yeah,
is.
the actual, their actual,
gravitas,
the purpose, the core, the design of a male is to lead. And if you don't have that drive within you for vision and for these things, like, it's unattractive. Like, where are we going?
It should be unattractive.
Right.
But I think
Right.
I think the bigger
Right.
thing, even with what we're saying with the picker, is that the problem is what these young ladies are attracted to, and what some of the young
And what
men
they're
are
willing to
attracted
compromise for, because everything seems so cooked.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and someone made a good point in the chat of just really leaning into God to show you who your mate is. But I think a lot of people still miss God, miss God.
Sure.
And so I don't know, like, so for young men, we can maybe start there. What should your mindset be? You graduated, you maybe are in college or finished college, and you're at the point to where you feel like, I really want to find the one. And of course, we know, God can show you your mate and whatever else, but I still feel like discernment is still so important, and hearing the voice of God is so important. But what should the characteristics be of a young lady who is ready to walk into a marriage? I know that Beth and I got married really young, and I think that, I was 22, she was 20, and I think that we had enough ingredients there to be able to cook in the positive way. Right, in a good way. I know one of the things that Beth had for me was just patience. So I was like, all right, I can, not saying that I would want to, but I can really make her upset, and she's going to end up getting over it in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And
5 minutes?
It's because she was raised with it. I mean, let's just be honest about this.
But
I think that's an exaggeration.
But I think that was one of the things. It was a number of things, but I just feel like there's putting myself rewinding back years ago and being like, all right, I'm a young man, and there's a lot of attractive young ladies who probably are at the point where they want to settle down. Because you got to remember, if you are a Christian and you're trying to live by the book, you also are thinking like, all right, I'm celibate, or I'm not having sex before marriage. And so, but you're at the age to where you have the strongest desires to do so, at least as a young man. And so that's not the reason that you want to rush to get married, but the drive is there for love. But I think that's one of the things that I saw in her. But what would you say, Dr. Forbes, as far as like just the things that you should be looking for? Because unfortunately, there's people out there with bad girlfriends and, dare I say it, also terrible wives. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I really do believe that that's a good question. Number one, I believe a woman that is worthy of being married, worthy of being pursued, is a woman of God. So she has that DNA chip from the Word of God. This is what a woman is. All right, and you can go into 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14 says very, very clearly, I would that the younger woman marry, bear children, and guide the home. So of all other things you can do, are you capable of doing those things? Because that's written in the Word. All right, marry, bear children. I know somebody's upset.
Yeah, people are. I already know.
But it's in the Word.
It's in the
So
Bible.
you're not upset with Brother Forbes. You're upset
Right.
with Brother Lord. Because it's there. Now,
facts.
am I saying that that's all a woman can do? No. The Proverbs 31 woman was off the chains in the business world. She ran businesses. She ran. She was a manufacturer. She was a merchant. So I'm not saying that you're limited, but can you at least cover what God says do? And then you can build on top of that. So is she a woman of God? Does she understand the male and female relationship, and that the husband, according to Genesis, is somewhat of a cover or somewhat of a leader? She is help.
Yeah.
All right. Does she see that? Does she understand that my job as a woman would be to help the man I marry fulfill his purpose in God? I see the purpose. I
Right.
see it's there.
Right.
I just want to help.
Right.
And I can help. I've got the skills and the gifts to add to that picture.
Yeah.
If those things are there, then your other pieces in terms of character and in terms of personality, you can work through some of those things and rub off some of those edges. But those main pieces have to be there in order for that male and that female to function. One of the most wonderful things I think God did was put male and female. So the strengths here are liabilities here, and then the liabilities here are strengths there. And a woman, because of the gifts that she has, she is more likely to be emotional and over emotional. And so therefore God gives her a man who is submitted to God. And so he knows what it feels like to get out of line and be calm down, tamp it down, bring it in. And so a man has to use that leadership position that he has to recognize, hey, sweetie, I got you, I hear you,
Yeah.
but let's bring that down some.
Yeah.
That's what happened in the garden. Eve got carried away emotionally. Oh, I found this. Oh, you got to try this. And all he had to say was, babe, we don't do that.
Right.
But he was not able to gather himself. And of course, we're all in this mess we're in now because of that. So anyway, I think those are the major, there's the three. If I said three, it's three. If it was four, then,
And then it's four.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, that's really good. Let's look at some of the comments.
Let me know if you want me to read them, because I know you be having a tough time.
Oh, just a little, because
Okay.
it's a little far. Go ahead.
Someone made a good point about young men. It's about who you're becoming as a young man. And is it giving husband, dealing in the law with your eye first will help you better to be able to see,
Yep.
And then Kayla says, I feel like too many people rush in for emotions. Maybe it's lack of self-esteem rather than realizing that this is a big shift in your life. The person has to be able to help grow your gift. I feel like can sometimes be allowing people to push you into doing things without seeking God first. You know what you're supposed to do, who you are allowing to influence you. So I guess the pressure of, people saying that, do this or do that. Pretty much what I'm seeing, a lot of people, I think those are all good comments. But of course, people just not listening to God and not, and just kind of going off of feels and vibes. But I do feel like someone may be genuinely trying to follow God.
Yeah.
And it's like, Yeah, God can pick the person, but I mean, there's people who really felt like God was behind that decision, and
They at least were intending to be
right.
led and just missed it.
Right, and missed it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's still things that that we still need to be mindful of. But I mean, Beth, what would you say to the young ladies? Because I even feel like, I don't know, I love the God talk, but I also feel like some young ladies also get so churched out to where you're not even in a position to be found.
Correct.
And yes, technically God could make a guy fall out the sky and come to
Straight
church
into the pew.
and come and find you, and that's the way we kind of talk about God and how we want him to move. But it's like, just being presentable, being let your beauty shine. You know what I mean? I think that those are all things that were very much so a part of our personal experience of like, man, like she's great.
Yeah.
She's attractive, but then once you get to know the person, now it becomes like, man,
You're
like,
adding on to that.
yeah,
It's value added.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean, what can we go over there? Because I mean,
Yes.
I understand that God will show you, God will send, God,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's a lot more natural things that really are spiritual that we also miss because we're just like, well, God's going to send them or God's going to show me.
Yeah.
But sometimes maybe God is waiting on you to.
Absolutely.
You know.
I love this conversation because I think that a lot of times us as Christians can spend the time, and you talked about this today in your message, but like we're waiting on God to do something. And God is like, I gave you instructions. And some of the times the instructions are in the word. Sometimes they come through quiet time. Sometimes they come through a leader. But sometimes we can become so spiritual. And I have a phrase that I'll say is that like a lot of women are married to the church when that's Jesus' job. And they spend days in and days out at church. I'm serving, I go to church, and I go to work, and I go home. I go to church, I go to work, and I go home. And which in and of itself may not sound like such a bad thing, but like you have to let your light shine in other places, you know what I'm saying, in other scenarios. But I think that for women, number one, like, be approachable. I think that this is just on a basic level. Like, you have to have the countenance of someone who could be approached by someone, or at least who's friendly.
Explain countenance really quick.
Countenance is like your disposition, like the way that you're presenting. Like, if I'm looking like this, like, does somebody want, like, or I just real serious. Like no one's walking up to you, babes. Sorry, like they're not gonna be doing it. But like pleasant. You know what I mean? Letting your beauty shine that God gave you. I think a lot of times, oh, this is just my face, or oh, this, and that. You have control over being aware enough to be cognizant of how you're being perceived, and not in a way of, oh, look at me, but in a way of like even letting your light shine simply as a believer wherever you go. Like, are you so stank that you can't smile at a stranger? Are you, if they're male? If someone in the McDonald's line is handing you your food, you can't smile and say, have a great day? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just having something about you, taking care of yourself, putting yourself together. I talked to some of my friends about having a baseline, and this is something I've been working on, but like, my baseline is like, I'm not going out the house without my eyebrows done. I gotta have my nails done every 3 weeks. I need to get my lashes done every 2 to 3 weeks, and my hair can't look crazy. And I have to have the lip gloss, no dry lips. That's like the baseline for me that I'm working on before I leave the house. And I'm married. So like, I'm taking care of the temple that God gave me on the inside, that's health, and on the outside, right? So we're not just gonna go out in our bonnet.
Because I want to say this too, because God,
What
go
generation,
ahead.
what generation are you all?
We're millennials.
Yeah, we're
You're millennials, so you go millennial,
Unfortunately.
then X, Y, and Z, right?
No.
No.
Millennials are Y.
We are Y.
You that okay?
And then
Millennials are Y.
Gen Z.
Then Z. Okay.
Then Alpha.
Where's X?
That's like 80s. That's more
Okay,
like
that's
80s
before.
babies.
Okay.
I feel like, I feel like millennials are like 90s
And to halfway through,
like 2005
Early 2000s.
or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. But did you had a point?
No, that was. I just want to ask that
Okay.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important because, like I said, we can talk about like, because I think it's important. Even I know DM. We've been really, really important in terms of like, we've been really on like seek God. All these things will be added. Right. But now that me and Beth are married, I think that what she's talking about is very important because our marriage can be God's will, but I'm a young man who likes to like what I'm looking at. And it can be God's will, but I can be somewhat miserable in God's will if we aren't maintaining ourselves as presentable to each other. And that's not only her, that's also with me, making sure I'm not walking around with holes in my socks and not smelling good, or just, even within the context of a marriage. So I do think that this is a piece of the conversation that is important, being presentable. Because
somebody asked and said the things that I'm naming, they said that's a lot for whether you're married or single. But like, it's
hold on, what's a lot?
The things that I named, okay, I said my hair doesn't look crazy. Doesn't mean that it's done, but it means that if it's messed up, I'm gonna have to slick it back and put on a hat. Like, it needs to be like maintenance, like you maintain, manicured, whatever. Like my nails, even if my nails are not done, they can't be half done. They can't be grown out and chipped. They either bare and they look natural, or they're done. It's just a matter of like carrying yourself with excellence.
Yeah, can I jump in there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything we're dealing with, healing, prosperity, marriage, relationship, there are 3 boxes. There's a spiritual box that you have to check.
Mm-hmm.
If Jesus is your Lord and he's your Christ, that box is checked. Right?
Yeah.
So you've got supernatural help for whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Then there is the emotional or soulish box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, how am I on the inside?
Yeah.
3 John 2, right? For those who are biblically based. Be in health and prosper as your soul prospers.
Right.
So I've got my box with God checked. Am I good on
Personally,
the inside?
right.
Just as on the inside as a person. And then there's what Daniel was getting to and what you just talked about. It's the natural side. So it's not just God brought this person to me, but I also am healthy emotionally. And then I do the things that are required in the natural that seem unspiritual.
Yeah.
But because they complete that package, it's very, very important.
Yeah.
So if it's a man, you got to be prepared to what does it mean to run a house and to handle your money?
Right.
Are you able to track and trim the finances? Are you able to train yourself and reach a target financially? I just taught that recently. Are you able to have delayed gratification? That I put off some things because I've got a wife here. One of the things I deal with young men here in Columbus is, man, I'm an entrepreneur and I sell cars and commission. That's great when you are single. But when you have a wife and children,
reliability,
you need solid,
stable,
consistent income. So it's $3,800 last month, great. But it was $38 this month. That's not good.
Right.
So it's things like that in the natural that sometimes thwart the fact God put you together. But if you miss those cues, then it can make it look like God's not in it at all.
Yeah. I think like it's just like there is a more excellent way, and I think that natural box, a lot of times we want to say, well, this is just how I am. I don't want to change these things. I don't want to change for a man. You're not changing for a man. You're changing for yourself because God has called us to a standard of excellence. And I'm not saying that you have to be dolled up and wear makeup and do all these things. This is my baseline, right? But you have to determine for yourself what is the more excellent way for yourself to be presented. Because you can walk out the house in a bonnet, a do-rag, you can not have a haircut, not have a lineup, fellas. Like, you can do all these things, right? But like, what are you gonna attract?
Right.
If you're fine with that, cool. But like, I could go on for days. I shall not. But it's just more of an encouragement, honestly, that especially for us, like I remember when I was single, I was into a lot of like beauty related things. Looking back, it wasn't all that beautiful, but I was shining, okay? I was doing what I was doing. But like, I really cared for myself. right? And that was noticed by Daniel, right?
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But what I mean to say is that, like, I was doing me for myself. It wasn't. And then another thing is, like, for God, like, doing the best that you can with what God gave you, you know? So.
And I can add that I was a very shallow person, and I still kind of am. Mm-hmm. So back when I was dating, like, I broke up with girls because their toes weren't done. Like, I never told them that.
Daniel's cooked. Daniel's cooked.
Just pour it all out tonight.
Yeah, I just, but and I'm not saying that's the only prerequisite, but I just feel like it's important. Like, it really is important, and I feel like sometimes what I see within the church, like, no, it shouldn't be like all vanity.
Right.
There's a lot more and a lot more important things that need to be there. But I like what you said, Dr. Forbes, about the total package.
Right.
Like, just, like the whole thing is complete. And I think that that's very important. And I think that that's not only something to just try to attract somebody.
Right.
I just think that that's something that you need to be, because whoever you're married to will appreciate that even throughout marriage, of just being,
Yeah. Well, if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to help me? You know, in whatever way.
Because if you're too much, then you don't need nothing else on your plate.
Right.
Cook.
I think the thing is too, and Jesus said this in a very unique way. He said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." He didn't say love your neighbor before yourself.
Right.
So you can't love another person unless you love yourself, because that's the gauge you're using to reference how to love them.
Wow.
And so, I try to keep myself up for your mom, because I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah.
But I know that it impacts her as well.
Right.
And so I try to put her in a nice home. I try to keep her in nice vehicles. I try to dress properly and present myself. So when people look out there and they're like, oh, that's Dr. Forbes. That's Mrs. Forbes' husband. It's not like, well, I don't know why she got with him. It should be more of a compliment. Like, she's blessed because of that. And they look at her and they say, he's blessed.
Yeah.
It should be that way.
No, 100%.
Or can be that way.
So, somebody said, I rebuke these phalanges.
Listen,
Fingers.
Mr. Legacy Jones is truly a wordsmith, a lyricist. He said, wait, I lost it. Oh, Beth said, you ain't finna rank if the attitude is stank. Then he said later, practically find your fit, and it's easier to fit your find. What does that remind me of? Don't love your job your love.
Right. I'm like, that's so good. That's so good. But no, I just and maybe we can play the other video.
Yeah.
But I just want, for extra credit tonight, for us to really understand that, like, yes, we got the spiritual side of it, but we all gotta do better.
Yeah.
Like, and in certain cultures, it's easy, but some of what I see is just like, man, I'm not a young lady, but if I was, I think that I would try to maybe present a little differently, not like a pick me, but just, I wouldn't, and it's not that being at church is bad, but it's just, do you give off pleasant
energy
with the way that you present? And there's, even out in public, there's been people where it's like, man, like, that person just has like a radiance, and it's God, but it's also God reflecting on how they put themselves together. It's not just coming from within, it's also
so let me use a churchy example for the churchy people, since everyone, and there's a balance too, because there's some people who are like overly on the churchy side, and then you have other people who are like vanity. They're too open, like they're way too open. You know what I'm saying to people.
We said, hold that thought. Yeah. We used to say this growing up. You're so earthly. You're so spiritual. You have no earthly good.
Yeah.
And then others are so earthly. They have no spiritual good.
Right. Exactly.
But it's those. It has to be a package that goes together.
Right. So this was what it makes me think of is at our church where we go in Richmond. They did a bunch of renovations to the building to make it nicer. They put marble on the stage, and they put wood paneling, and they put lights, and they put
travertine and the vestibule or the grand concourse. So they did all these things, right? For why? For God to get the glory, for his house, right? But are we not vessels? Right? So how much more should we put ourselves together to reflect God's glory in who we are?
Right.
In a nutshell.
And it's just effort.
Yeah,
Effort.
well, and then again, I don't hate to go Bible, but I just bring Bible up. 1 Corinthians 6 says very clearly, we are the temple of the living God. So if we take care of the natural temple building, how much more do we take care of ourselves? You know?
That's true.
I love that.
I feel like, I mean, we are, I know we started a little bit late, but we're almost at the hour mark. I feel like if I play the next video, we're going to go way over.
Just do it. If people
let's ask the chat.
Oh my gosh.
Give us a check or an X. Should we save it to go into part 2 next week, or should we play this next video?
You better
do
have
y'all
the
wanna
right answer.
Stick with us for a little bit longer? Because I'm like, you know, I know we've been trying to end at 11.
I know. We've been trying so hard.
We've been trying, but we have a special guest.
And we started late.
And I'm honored to be that special guest.
Yes,
We're
sir.
honored.
Get some extra credit.
Yes, sir.
Somebody said play it right now. We got checks.
All right,
in the
I see a
chat.
couple checks. If I see any X's, we'll not play it.
What? If you want to put an X,
Let's
just
make
get
sure.
out of
Is
the
that
chat.
an X? Is that
No,
that's
it's a play
yep?
button. It's a play button.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, Caitlin Sanders almost had everybody
Oh
cooked.
my gosh. Wait,
All right.
which one are you gonna play?
The young man.
Which there was two.
Let me see.
But the one's like really short, I think. I don't know.
The guy with the tattoos. He had like an A shirt on.
Okay, I don't remember what he was saying.
Make sure
but
you're
go for it.
unmuted,
All right.
and I'm gonna go ahead and play it for us. Okay.
Hold on.
So from a Christian man's perspective, I will tell you 1,000% of the time, I will never approach the girl at the gym that's dressed provocatively. So for example, there was.
You said play the other one.
Yes. My bad.
Daughter and a bonus son who Daniel, you proven yourself exactly what I pray for my daughters, and so I thank God for that. And
Amen.
Bethany, you know who you are, you know how you are. We love you and bless you. Y'all are awesome. You gave me some wonderful grandchildren as well.
Oh,
3.
well, praise God. And if I could be honest though, Dr. Forbes, I think that one of the reasons why I think it's cooked for young ladies out here is because I feel like in ways I'm cooked myself. So I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, like, what am I trying to say? I just feel like I feel like I'm a good guy, but I still feel like there's so much more.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't necessarily always think of myself that way. But I know I'm truthful,
Right.
and I know I just know that about me. And I guess that if I was like, because I'm thinking now that I have daughters, I know how young men can be. Like I just, because I'm a young man, and I know the things that we struggle with, the things that we think. And I think that the biggest thing is like, is the person genuine?
Right.
Are they real?
Right.
Regardless
Right.
of like what they got
Faults,
going on.
Yeah, faults, weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because we all of us have those.
Yes.
All of us have those weak spots.
Yeah.
And we have blind spots, which are weak spots we can't see.
Right.
And hopefully our relationship with Christ through a church and a pastor, because that's that development. I mean, you need a relationship with God alone, but being in a church helps you develop those relationship skills. Not relationship male and female, but relating with people.
Right.
Being in a helps ministry team helps you develop what your strengths are. find your weaknesses. That process is very, very important.
Right.
Because we all have those weaknesses, and when you get those fixed, the others that are there, that's what keeps us in a relationship with the Lord, because we're constantly learning, how do I get better, and how do I be better. So we're all cooked, and so cook deserves cooked.
Right.
But hopefully, we're growing and becoming better and better as we go through that.
Okay. Y'all
So
put
anyone that's really watching, the fact that you're watching this message, this subject tonight, I bless you, and I encourage you not to be discouraged by I can't do it or the list is too long. No, absolutely, you can do it, and this conversation is part of that. I'm not perfect. My wife's not perfect. My son-in-law is not perfect. Bonus son.
I said, mm-mm.
No,
I'm not either, though. I'm not either,
You're not
though.
perfect. So we all come to the throne of God to get help, to be better, and
Humbly.
you can do this because the Creator gave us marriage for a purpose. If He gave it to us, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So there is a blessing in it, and we want you to find it. We really do.
Let's get some skillets in the chat, because we've all been cooked at some point, and I guess God is uncooking us, which only He can do.
Right? Only He can do. Only He can do.
Only He can do. So yeah, I think that's good. Just the integrity and the realness,
Right.
and I think that's why God. This is something I saw too. That makes me think about this, is that Saul and David were both cooked.
Right.
And David arguably did some stuff that was more out of line than Saul, but
Right.
typically, biblically, we look at Saul as being like so much worse than David. But then God says David
Was a man after
was a
God's
man
own
after his own heart. And so I really had to look at like, okay, well, with all the terrible things that David did, how can we say that?
Yeah.
And but I look at David's heart posture.
Right.
And regardless of the
Right.
things that he walked through and the mistakes that he
Right.
made, it was like he had the heart of search me, oh God.
Right.
And he was real
Right.
with all of his shortcomings and
Right.
things like that.
That's right.
Whereas maybe Saul was messing up, but he didn't have a
Right.
search me, oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I
Psalm
think
51.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Psalm 51.
One of my favorites.
No, it's good. It really is good. You're exactly right, Daniel, because God does not expect perfection. He expects perfect heart. There's a difference. And the things you're talking about, being genuine, being authentic, having a pure heart, that will cover the other weaknesses that are there. If your heart is right, if your heart is genuine and authentic. And the fact is, if you're authentic, genuine, and heartfelt, and you meet her and she's not, you'll know it just like that.
Yeah.
You'll know it just like that. Because, and I talked to someone at that worked at the U.S. Mint and Treasury Department, and they explained to me, they teach them to learn what counterfeit bills look like, but here's how they do it. They don't say, this is a counterfeit bill, this is a counterfeit bill, this is a counterfeit bill, this is a counterfeit bill. Because when you do that, you've got 99,000 choices to look at. What they do is, here's the original.
Yeah.
You learn what this looks like. If you learn what this looks like, you'll spot the counterfeits very quickly,
Yeah,
because it's
from a mile
not
away.
what that one
Yeah.
genuine piece looks like.
Yeah.
And so that's what we should work on. It's like,
Yeah.
how do I become so genuine myself,
Yeah.
so mature in Christ myself,
Yeah.
so complete in Christ myself, that when I meet someone who's not,
Yeah.
no matter how good they look,
Yeah.
I know that, hey, that's not what I'm looking for.
And that's spending more time developing your relationship with God than your
Yes.
relationship with people.
Right.
Because discernment, again,
Right.
back to the
Right.
discernment piece, you're back to your picker.
Right.
Your picker is your discernment.
Right.
And God would not lie to you. He would not set you up with someone who's not for you. So if you're not hearing God clearly,
Right.
you should be.
Right.
And you would know.
You know it right off the bat.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good. Are we queued up?
Yes.
Okay.
This is
They're over here. They getting hungry in the chat talking about hibachi. Filet.
This is the
men
guy,
wronged.
the guy that says maturing. Which video?
The girl talking about.
Quiet.
I don't see her no more.
She's in your saves in your downloads.
No, she's not there.
Here's another one. Fondued.
Please.
He said fondue. Yeah, B, I don't. Did you?
I literally accepted
Hold on.
myself.
I'm gonna accept it again. To downloads.
Speaking of cooked, I was trying to play one more video.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I've
All right,
coined a
mute yourself.
term. It's
Okay, hold
called
on.
quiet dating, and it's essentially. Okay, I've coined a term. It's called quiet dating, and it's essentially dating, but not telling anyone about it. Like zip it. There are absolutely no recaps. The date does not require any brain space outside of the date. Let me tell you why. Because when you are dating multiple people or like just trying to find somebody, what you end up doing is you start selling yourself on the guy. You know what I mean? So like when you're recapping it to your friends, you'll be like, then he opened the door and then he looked me in my eyes and then he, paid for the date. And it's like he's doing things that he should be doing because he's courting you, but you're like selling him to your friends. So then you're upselling him to yourself, and then you're creating this like ridiculous version of this man that probably doesn't even exist. Anyway, so I like to do this thing called quiet dating, where it's just like you're just going on dates, you're just meeting people, and then when you're done, you zip it, keep those lips locked. We are not recapping the date with anyone but Jesus, okay? Up here, that's it. Because you don't need to upsell yourself on anyone. You just need to take it for what it is, observe, and go on with your life. Anyway, quiet dating. Try it if you are the boy crazy type. I swear to God, you will learn something about yourself and the men that you've been dating and have been telling yourself that they are the one. All 12 of them are the one. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank Charity for that video.
Not Charity.
Personal foul.
Don't do my sister like that.
15 yards.
Looks like Charity
Oh my God.
to me.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple of things that are being unpacked in the chat already. One of them, which we can kind of kick off there, I guess, is dating multiple people at once. We haven't hit on this, but I've always been taught that dating is for marriage and that you should date very intentionally if you're serious, to be serious about what you're looking for. But
What do we mean by dating? Because I think that it's fine to like I'm thinking before you key in on dating one person, it's fine to go out with different people to hang out.
Right.
And I feel like maybe there's like soft dating. Because that technically can be considered like dating.
I
but
feel like it's definitely like a very exploratory stage before you seriously date somebody with the intention of marriage. Like that's what I think. But the way I was taught, and my daddy right here, so I can't lie to y'all, was that a lot of that exploratory can be done like in group settings and things like that. Call me old school because that is pretty old school, but in group settings, environments like that to get to know people. And then, okay, I'm like, let's take it to the next step and see if there's more here. But as far as like having a roster and just and kind of like dating around, but let's say that there's not necessarily intention there.
Yeah.
Like for marriage, or let's say that maybe some of these people are not going to be marriage material, but you're just still kind of enjoying hanging out with them.
Right.
Like type vibes.
Yes, that's back to discernment. But it's important, I think, for young men and women to recognize, and adults as well, if they're in the dating scene, everybody you meet, anyone that speaks to you, a woman should not say he's interested in me. So either he's interested in me or I'm not interested in him. There's space in there that's, hey, we work at the same place. Hey, I don't mind getting a coffee with you or just talking with you.
Yeah.
Because it does not have, every relationship, every connection is not a romantic
Right.
yes or no. It
Right.
is just, hey, this is platonic.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If you've got that energy going where you feel something, or the other person feels something,
Right.
those are the cases to really avoid.
Right.
Because unless you heard from God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I think so.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
I think what I hear you saying is basically, unless you know that there's intentionality there, then you shouldn't
Right.
be entertaining in a romantic way.
Right.
If there's not that intentionality
Right.
there, but you can have friends,
Right.
you can hang out,
That's
you can
right.
do things like
Right.
that. Yeah. And yeah.
Because I think women too sometimes get stuck where they may be 30. I'm just picking numbers. All right, they may be 39 and they're saying, man, my clock, and I'm running out of time. And then this gentleman is speaking to me. I don't want to take the chance that I could miss the love boat. So I'm going to entertain. But your gut is telling you this ain't right. He's not right.
Yeah.
But you entertain it because
Yeah.
this could be him.
Yeah.
But you have no other evidence that it's him.
But if
So
you
you
have
gotta be-
evidence that it's probably definitely not, like, don't ignore the red flags. Like, I
Right,
think that
right.
that's
Oh
like,
man.
I
Oh
know.
man.
We could go in there.
Red flags.
Red flags never lie.
They don't. And I've learned that I'm going to help as many, even being in a pastoral position, like I want to help as many people to navigate through. And I think that there's a part of what she was saying that I may be kind of taking somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is that as you're dating, you need to have some people that you aren't letting know everything, but
Right.
you do need to be making other people around you aware of the red flags
You
Right.
need
because they can
yeah.
help you.
Yes.
And people who are not going to gossip but are going to help discern.
It's the right people.
The right
It's
people.
the
yeah.
right
Yeah,
people who you share
'cause-
with. And
Yeah.
I feel what she's saying about
Yeah.
kind of like romanticizing it and making it sound like
Right.
more than what it is. But when you have somebody who is able to spiritually discern, and that's why the
Right.
spiritual side is so important,
Right.
then they can tell you, nah, girl, those are the things you should already be
Right.
doing. Tell me something else. Tell me something you didn't like. Tell me, you know what I'm saying? Versus, them gassing you up like, well, he opened the door, like, bare
Right.
minimum, babes. So I get what she's saying there,
Yeah.
but it's the right people.
It's the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah. A singer on stage, they're singing, they have to have a monitor
Yeah.
so they can hear what they sound like.
Yeah.
Because without a monitor, they just can't tell where they are.
Yeah.
And so having friends, close friends, a small circle if need be,
Yeah.
that are telling you, hey, you're glossing him too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, really? Oh, really? He's that good? We'd like to meet him.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's one of the main things
Yes.
is not to get isolated.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
the isolation is what some men
Dangerous.
love
Yeah.
because if they can isolate you, they can manipulate you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I'll raise you one on the monitors. They have now where they have in-ear monitors.
Yes.
And so I would even say you need someone, good people to be in your ear
Right.
to accurately play
You
back
better
Right.
preach.
what they're hearing. Because I'm just like, there's the red flags. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
people don't understand. It's like when you get married, bro, like it's supposed to be forever. And it's like, this is the person who, like I even watched you this week. Okay, you hurt your ankle, but I watched your wife really assist. I'm like, man, like the person you marry is the person that at your lowest is going to have to
Right.
care for you and take care of you, and that's just a part of it. And I'm just like, man, like I'd rather, like I think Paul talked about it, like all right, if you're gonna burn and get married, but some people, I think I want you to see your singleness as a blessing because there are some nightmare situations to where if you would have married the wrong person,
Right.
trust me,
Right.
you would think
Right.
back and be like, man, like I'm happy to be single at 56 and
Right.
never been married if it's not going to be the one.
Right.
I'd rather be 56, happy in the Lord, looking like I'm 36,
Yes.
than to be 56, married to somebody I shouldn't be married to and look like I'm 96.
Suffer. That's facts.
And that's
Yeah, but I think that it's so dangerous to isolate yourself.
Yes.
I think that this quiet dating fad, and I don't know, she had quite a few views, a lot, thousands of views on her video. And some people are agreeing with her, and some people are like, "You're tripping. Like you have to have a sounding board." And I think
Right.
that
Yep.
ignoring red flags in relationships
Yep.
is so dangerous. It is so dangerous. Like you have to take red flags seriously from the jump,
Right.
and any red flag, be accountable to somebody else
Right.
to tell them what that red flag is, to make them aware. Because if not, you are stuck with yourself, right? And sometimes even us Christians can be so self-righteous that we think we're hearing God, we're hearing ourselves.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
We're hearing what we want to hear.
Yeah. Confirmation bias.
Yes, confirmation bias, and then we're ignoring those red flags, and then we're seeing the fruit of them later and being like, how did I get here? Well, ma'am.
Yeah.
Didn't you ask Beth when we were dating, like, what? Okay, now I believe we may have had a session.
Yeah.
Where you asked her, like, okay, now what are the three things, or what do you not like about him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the importance of asking that question? And Beth, do you remember what?
What I didn't like?
Yes.
I mean, it's probably a different list now.
I mean, what was it back then? I'm fine with it being shared because I'm like, I think it's the realness that we need, because even when you have the perfect, even if God sends you the perfect man for you, there's still going to be flaws there that you can't be delusional about. So like, what was it, I guess, about me when we were dating? And then Dr. Ford was like, as a father, like those questions being asked, why is that important?
Yeah, I think that
Guys, let me brace myself.
it's not gonna be that bad, but I think that when we were dating, you could be very dissociative. I think because we were long distance, so he would basically do this thing where he would pretend I didn't exist so that he could be happy in his day.
Okay.
But then for him, he's like, I can't be thinking about missing Beth all day. I have to be productive and get stuff done. For me, I'm like, you're ignoring me and you're leaving me on red, which we didn't have red back then, but the equivalent of just leaving me hanging and you're not answering me. That was bothersome to me, because I'm like, I need you to acknowledge. And he's like, I don't have time to get all mushy-gushy with you. I have things to do. So that was probably one of the things. I think that he was so emotionally stale sometimes. You would be so we couldn't argue. Because there's just nothing, you give me nothing back.
Yeah.
You're better at that now.
I'll argue a little bit now, I'll give you a little something back and forth, but not nothing,
But yeah, anyway.
Those are two things.
The third one, I don't know. Maybe those cargo shorts from Aeropostale. They were microwaved, okay? No, they were nuked. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't know if there's that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's, But Dr. Fools, why, why is that question important? Because I'm interested even knowing as a dad, because I'm like, all right, my daughter's 9, but in a few more years, it's going to be there. So, what is that conversation like, and what are you trying to pick up through, of course, hoping that she's being honest with letting you know what's going on?
Yeah, well, I asked that question not only of my own daughters, but of daughters in ministry that we counsel through premarital. The reason I asked that question is, number one, honesty. Like that sounding board, that monitor we just talked about.
Yeah.
If you sit with me with your fiance and you're saying, there's nothing, I love everything about him, I know you're lying.
Yeah, and you're cooked immediately. That's a red flag.
Right away. I ended a couple's premarital for that reason. Oh no, we love each other. There's nothing wrong with either one. I said, get out. I said, I'm not even going to finish this. Y'all come back when you're ready to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there are things about myself I don't like.
Right.
So I know another person, there are things that I don't appreciate.
Yeah.
They're not game killers. They're not game changers. Some things you have to accept in the other person may not change.
Yeah.
But we ought to at least acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Because that means we have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, I think when I ask one person what it is they may not like or appreciate, I'm not only listening to them, I'm watching the person that they're talking about. Because I want to see, is there any kind of interchange in there? Because we've got to be able to communicate these type of things in marriage.
100%.
If we don't do it before marriage, we won't do it in marriage.
And that is the biggest misconception, that once you get married, it's just going to all magically fall into place and be rainbows and butterflies. You're going to be able to communicate. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Look, babes, if you can't do it before, it's going to be more cooked after.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, Daniel.
The one red flag I have for any ladies that are listening out there, if you're talking to someone who lies all the time about stuff that doesn't matter, like dumb stuff. I remember just having people that I knew, like just other guys, and we would, be something at the ministry and they would be lying about like the dumbest stuff. That is a red flag. There's something deeper there. I'm not going to go into it tonight, but I've kind of looked into what that is. And so that is a small flag. If you're out there single right now talking to somebody and they lie about like little stupid stuff,
they're lying about a lot more.
Yeah, that's not the worst that they're doing. That's the simplest.
Yeah.
Daniel, I had an experience we had a flight department at the time in an aircraft, and my pilot, he was our pilot, but our second in command, second seat, was always someone different. He rotated different guys. And he had a guy that he flew with us maybe twice, then he stopped flying with us. And he always had somebody different, but not this gentleman. And I said, well, Bill, why? I haven't seen so-and-so lately. He said, no, I don't pull him with us anymore. I'm like, well, why not? Something happened? And he said, well, I found out that he was being unfaithful to his wife. And so I'm like, well, explain more. He said, well, if someone will be dishonest on the ground,
What in the world?
30,000 feet, what kind of mistake would they make up there? So your character, those little things, seems very small, but at a higher altitude, it's a bigger problem.
Can you repeat that one more? Like, that's a bar, because it's like when you get married, that's literally like you're locked in, and you're like once you start the takeoff, like there's a certain point where when you start that, you have to commit. There's no going back. Like you can't abort. Like, oh, we already picked up speed and then let's slam on. No, like you have to commit to taking off. But that's a bar. Can you say that again? Because if you could repeat that, just the on the ground and in the air.
If a person, this pilot, is not going to be honest with himself and make good decisions on the ground, he's not going to be honest with himself and make good decisions at 30,000 feet.
Man.
And you can kill yourself up there.
Wow.
It's like, get it straight now. Because when you get to that altitude,
it's more at stake.
And so you can think of that altitude as, as engagement in marriage and having children and owning businesses together. And the further and further that you go, the more that you have to deal with that same dishonest spirit that you could have nipped in the bud, that red flag on the ground in the dating phase. So I think that's really important. I want y'all to put some of y'all's red flags in the chat, because I just see Montrell said, God told me you're the one is a red flag coming from a female. Yes, it is. Absolute red flag.
That was a red flag for him.
No, that's a red flag.
Montrell had people sending bouquets of flowers to the church. I want to see some jets in the chat. Y'all put some jets in the chat, because once we get to that altitude, we gotta be locked in.
Locked in anyway.
We gotta be locked in.
I point this out all the time. I can't live without you. You cannot
red flag
have any more time with that person.
Because
they need to say, I can live without you.
But I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
Right.
But I can't. I don't even have a choice. That's dangerous.
That combination mixed with someone who lies is cooked. Because I like, even with me, like I feel like I'm dope by myself. Now, is me and Beth being together better and elevates? Absolutely. But like me by myself, me and God, like that's we good. You know what I mean? It's not saying I wouldn't want to have you, like
I know.
But but that's the way that you are too.
Absolutely.
I just,
And honestly, there's probably a lot more married people with that perspective than people who are dating or single people. Funny enough. But you want it to be a choice.
Right.
Not that you
Not what you want to be with me because you have no choice.
Right. Okay, great.
This will make me feel great.
No job. Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Cooked.
That's a red flag. What other red flags that y'all have? What would you do? Be without me? someone saying that, yep, that's a red flag. You can't love someone that doesn't love himself.
Exactly.
Dirty nails. Did you already say that one?
No.
Dirty nails.
That is
When they do something for you, then guilt trip you for them doing it. Be very careful with. I want young ladies to really go look at a couple of disorders. I want you to look at sociopath, and I want you to look at narcissist. And a lot of the things that we see on social media that we think about those things can be, kind of here and there, but I would encourage you to read up on those things. And I'm not saying that you have to label people because you see a couple of things, but I think that it would also help you
to understand
when there's someone with a disorder or things or patterns. I just want y'all to, those two, because that one that Kayla said, when they do something for you and then guilt trip you for doing it, narcissists will do something bad towards you and then guilt trip you for how you react to what they did to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And they will have you perplexed.
Have you turned upside down?
Yeah.
The movie, this is from the 50s and 60s,
Yeah,
entitled
I know
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
And there's actually a movie entitled Gaslighting. In the movie, the man would literally go into the kitchen at night and open all the cabinets. And then the next morning get on his wife for leaving the cabinets open. And knowing he did it, but he was just turning her mind upside down. And because she was a pure-hearted person, she was just like, something must be wrong with me.
Right.
But something was wrong with him. So someone who has that tendency is very dangerous.
You don't want to be in the air with that person.
No.
Because, God might allow them to just allow the plane to go down just to get them out the way.
Man.
And then you're just cooked.
Right.
Bad temper, easily angered. Yeah.
Not being able to apologize.
Yes.
Bad friends. Oh, can we talk about this before we get off? Because I know we're running late.
Yeah.
But how important, this is going to be kind of, everyone's not going to agree with this, but the family of the person who you are dating.
You're marrying the whole family. You're marrying the whole family. Like,
I know some people are going to disagree with that, and I feel like you can disagree with it because I don't think. But this is our opinion.
In my 31 and 3/4 of years, yes, that's what I said because I need every ounce of credibility to say this. I have seen it enough. If any of my children want to date somebody or whatever, and that person's family is cooked, the answer is no. The answer is stop right there. Stop in your tracks. It's not happening. We're not taking this any further.
Or I'm not co-signing it.
No.
I mean, I can't put my blessing on it because I know.
Yeah.
We've seen too much.
We've seen too much. It's so important because those people are going to be your kids' grandparents and aunts and uncles and all these things. It's just so important that those people are on at least
not perfect, but not cooked.
But not cooked.
Well, in the scripture, Old Testament, they wanted the families to actually come into covenant. When the husband and wife married, then the families also were considered to be in covenant. And that was one of the blessings of Tracy and myself and your parents, is that we already really were in covenant.
Yeah.
We were in covenant before you all were married. And so that makes it even easier to function as a larger family.
Yeah.
Because we always saw each other like that. Yeah. Now, everyone can't have that. I understand it. But you've got to have some symbiotic relationship where we're going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the culture of one family will raise against the culture of the other.
Because what happens when you want to send your kids with the grandparents or whatever, but you don't trust them or they're not aligned? Like, these are things that you really have to consider that you may not think about it initially. So.
But there's so much. My camera died, so it's time to get off. But there's so much that we can.
You can come over here with me.
Well, I think I can add a second camera.
You do your.
But I know we're going to get ready to Never mind. I have to pay $100 extra a month to add an extra
Just
camera.
come over here.
No, I'm good. We're closing
I
up.
want you to keep
We're
talking, like, and they can't see you. Come on.
Well, I'm just closing out. They can hear me.
Yeah, but you need to close out on camera. Guys, you agree?
Let's have Dr. Forbes to close out, because I just feel like the prayer that we should end with is just discernment, being able to
They're
see,
telling you to move. You're
being
talking.
able to hear from God. I'm about to be done talking, but I just feel like we should end out with just, what are we saying to those who are married, to encourage to keep going, building healthy families, and then
those who are single and those who are dating. All the groups, all the peeps.
Well, I'm honored to do so. Look, let me pray with you. Now, Father, in the wonderful name of your Son, Jesus, I thank you for this wonderful extra credit crew that you've brought together. We thank you for this discussion tonight about relationship, about marriage. It is an institution you created, and you created for the welfare and benefit of all of mankind and all of womankind. So thank you for giving us the discernment to understand the purpose of this relationship, to understand the power of it, and to learn how to make the decisions that put us in the best situation. Father, help us polish off those rough edges so we can be better for you, and then we'll be better for someone else. And then, Lord, help us to allow whatever relationship comes from any of this to glorify you and to honor you. We thank you for that. Thank you for keeping us out of the airplane with somebody who should not be behind the yoke of an airplane. Don't let us be locked in with someone that we shouldn't. Throw that red flag and let us see that red flag. Thank you for those around us who are helping speak into our lives the wisdom and the discernment that it takes to win at this wonderful game called love. God bless you.
Amen. Daniel, get over here so you can say bye. Please.
All right, hold on.
Somebody say amen, Bishop.
All right. I can see myself. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Like I said, we went a little bit late tonight, but it's all good. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We appreciate Dr. Force for hanging out with us tonight. I mean, we're building a little bit of a community here, and we're excited about it. Y'all got us up late tonight, so I gotta drive home tomorrow, so I don't know what that's gonna look like yet, but it's all good.
I'll think about helping.
Shout out to Nene. I'm not sure how you felt to the number 2. You top fan. Go to the top fans in the right hand corner. Let's see the top 3. Let's click it. All right, we got Mr. Legacy Jones tonight as number 1. Nene as number 2. Such a disappointment. And then we got Scott Sanders at number 3. But shout out to everybody. I know we have Montreal in the chat tonight. I think I saw Jay Martin in there. He jumped in at the last minute. And shout out to everybody else. Love y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.
And I just want to remind y'all that anything that's cooked, God is the number one person who can uncook it. So no matter what your situation is, just know that God is the MVP of uncooking. Amen. All right, good night, guys. I gotta wait for Daniel to go over there.
Good night in the chat.
Good night in the chat. Uncooked it.